Peace, insight from the gods. Y'all know what it is. Lock him the guard in the building. Brother Knowledge in the building. It's part two from last week's podcast. Street code versus self code. As usual, we got jewels for y'all. We got infinite information. Y'all know what it is. Let the brother drop a jewel so you can pass it on.
Indeed, no doubt. Welcome. I know a bit late. I appreciate the ones that was patient enough to wait for us. Yeah, we're gonna pick up from where we went last week. Street code versus self code. With so much going on in the world today, I think it was so necessary to address a lot of things because this is a drastic transitional period, depending on your perspective. So we want to help enhance some perspectives, and we want to try to step away from some of the emotions because a lot of our actions is being given by a lot of emotions, and emotions don't just because you feel something do not make it fact, and that's what we're going to be building on. A variety of topics though, but primarily what's the most necessary and important is which direction do we go in with the type of leadership that we have in the White House, whether you like them or not. We need to face these facts and what's going on so we can know help when we see help, whether it's pain or suffering or whether it's a way out of this matrix in order for us to make a better way moving forward. Separate your feelings, and we gotta look at some facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because that is almost overwhelming sometimes. And the pressures of actually combating everything that we suffer from. I had a conversation today with one of my colleagues at work, and she more so busted down like this. She was like, Kim, the shit you be dropping on me be so heavy. I just choose not to even deal with that shit because it's so much all at once. She said that shit can overwhelm a person who ain't really fortified in the knowledge of self or in a what to do plan. And I was explaining to her, you know what I'm saying, basically a conversation that me and Brother Knowledge always have. And this conversation was based on the basis of how other people show up for their people. Like we have a street code and we have a self code. But when you analyze other nationalities, they show up for their people in a way that people who are disunified and don't show up, they would consider that racism. Only because it's not a practice that they are involved in. Example, the Chinese make sure other Chinese are good. The Koreans make sure other Koreans are good. Other nationalities make sure their people are good first. Because we don't do that. When we see other nationalities doing that, we're quick to say they're racist. Actually, they're not. They're doing what your black ass should have been doing from day one, and that's showing some black love. You look at all of these people that move into your neighborhood and they open up all these stores and no black dollar is circulated back in our neighborhood because when you get your street money, that you got by living by the street code, it didn't dawn on you to invest some money in some stores in your neighborhood and hire some people that look like you. So your children can grow up and see black store owners, black store operators, and black store runners. Run the store, own the store, operate the store in blackness. And that is how you instill a sense of responsibility to the youth by showing them by example, this is what you should do. But since we have not did that, since we have forfeited that right, it angers us when we see other people look out for their own. But the truth of the matter is, you should be looking out for your own people, and then they will say, well, damn, they hold each other down. But we don't do that. We have the mentality like, I want to be the only one with this situation that is looking like it's successful. Be the only successful one because you have been made selfish. You have been made or taught that I have to look out for me as an individual and not look out for you as a people, as a culture, as a nation, and not give our youth something to look up to besides street shit.
Indeed, indeed. And I apologize to the guard. We had a little technical difficulty. Soldier Boy, if you're there, I was just trying to get the volume because it was staticky and it was kind of interrupting the sound. So I apologize, people. But yeah, but it was heavy build the God was just building on. That's so true. And what bothers me sometimes, man, it's like nobody want to call out our own shit. We like to hide our shit. We like to put it under the rug. We like to defer. We like to blame. Like, though that stuff's just sold 50 years back. And it's like we have so many tools nowadays, and it's like we're just abandoning the tools, and we're still subconsciously waiting on somebody to lead us. It's like, why are we still waiting on a savior? We shouldn't be relied on nobody to do our savior. And it's like, when I'm talking about some of the people that's going on what's going on with politics now, right? All I hear is, well, 300,000 black women lost their jobs under Trump. You know, they just running down all the negatives, but name all of the jobs that was lost. Don't just make it like it was only black women that lost jobs. So it's like, if you're gonna paint the picture, paint the whole picture. Every administration that comes in when it's change, people lose jobs. That's just the reality of the situation. There was no administration that came in and nobody lost jobs. Somebody is always affected. And especially the people that's affected is the ones that's less needed. So I think people really need to reevaluate their position, because a lot of people really getting a lot of federal money to really do nothing. And they've been doing it for long enough. So I'm thinking like, yo, you've been milking the cow for long enough.
Facts.
So it's like, okay, well, why don't you just accept, damn, I've been getting away. Let me go ahead and take this creativity and channel it into something else and keep building.
Right.
Not stop your evolution and wait
Right.
and beg and want the government assistance. It's like you're begging for stuff from the government that you still say oppress you.
Right.
So it's like, are they the oppressor or not?
Right.
You know, we want to be divided on one hand, and then on another hand, it's like we want to be included. And it's like, which side are we going to be on? We can't dictate none of this stuff that goes on in that Capitol Hill, no matter who in there.
Right.
My thing is, I'm about the effects. I don't care about your personal opinion. I don't care about your ideology or none of that. I can't expect you to think like I think, and you don't come from where I come from. And we put that burden on people so much, especially leaders. We expect them to know exactly what we're going through, and we don't contribute to nothing to make it known. We don't go up Annapolis and Capitol Hill. We don't go and push no bills through. Whatever our discomfort is with our reality, we don't take the measures that those other classes of people take and go and lobby. You know what I'm saying? We got a poor education system, failing in the nation in terms of the rest of the world. We're way behind. But yet, when they come and want to change the education system, people bucking against it. Like, what is going on? So you're saying, let's keep the failing system versus trying something else. And it's all based off emotional entanglement. It's like, yo, we got to get away from their emotions and look at how can we benefit from this? We can't change it. So where is the benefit? Not waiting for the handout benefit, but the opportunity and availability. You know what I mean? A creative mind would have said, damn, they didn't do this immigration thing. They done sent all these Hispanics back, a lot of them back. There's opportunity and more jobs. No, we want to get on the crime bus. We want to get on the victim bus with them. Oh, that's so wrong with that. Yo, we got to get off that victim shit.
Yeah.
Straight like that.
Facts. That definitely was a heavy build, Lord. I was just sitting here as you was building. I was thinking about the whole concept of allowing someone else to choose your enemy for you. We are the only people that are so psychologically gullible. We let people sit back and dictate to us who we should dislike. And we fall for that shit. We listen to a bunch of media propaganda that shapes and molds our perception and our decisions that we make, and we let them tell us that this man is your enemy or this administration is your enemy. During the Korean War, they had blacks in America. During the Vietnam War, they had all the blacks in America thinking the Vietnamese are our enemy, the Koreans are our enemy. And after that happened, these same Koreans who they told you were your enemy, all of a sudden they allowed them to come in and open up stores in your neighborhood. But they didn't let them open up stores in other neighborhoods. They tried. But the other neighborhoods wasn't going for it because they had a sense of pride about their neighborhood. So they didn't let them do it. They tried it in the Italian neighborhood. The Italians kept burning their stores down. We have unity and violence and unity and strength only when it comes to our own people.
Yeah.
The National Guard come in, now all of a sudden you want to put your guard down, but to your own people, you the biggest killer.
Yeah. And why is that?
You run around here bodying shit, but soon as the National Guard come in, it's a peace treaty now.
Right.
Which really implies that there was some shit like the God knowledge said, you could have overlooked that anyway. Because if it wasn't, you still wouldn't overlook it just because they're there.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's almost as if, damn, I don't like these people in this administration, but this the same people that got to send somebody else in to govern your ass because you don't have enough strength or enough discipline to say, yo, stop the killing, yo.
Indeed.
Stop killing our babies. Stop shooting 11-year-old girls, 5-year-old little girls getting hit with straight bullets because you can't think with your mind. Everything is an emotional response. Everything is an insult. Everything is a challenge to who you are as a person instead of enlightenment, instead of growth and development, instead of creativity. The same administration that you don't like, you got to run to them and ask them for a job because you lost your ability to create.
That's right.
And since you lost your ability to create, you sitting around like, damn, what do I do now? Even in the job that you have not created a new system. You have not shown them, even though they let you in, you have not shown them, damn, not only do I deserve this, I'm one of the elite minds that keep coming up with ideas to progress this company. Right. You show your what you create.
That's right.
And if you ain't creating nothing, then you don't have no value. That's right. Simple as that. They said the name of anything denotes its functions, its properties, and its value. So if you call yourself a man has a function, he has internal properties, and he has a particular type of value. And when you don't have those things, you can't call yourself by any kind of name. We walk around here with all these motherfucking titles. I'm super ultra magnetic God of law, and you don't own a nail, a rail, or a pail. And this is not an attack on anybody, but at the same time, we got to understand that creativity, producing, we have to work what we know. I don't care how many lessons you can quote. I don't care how many times you read the Quran. I don't care how many times you read your Bible from cover to cover. If you don't know how to put that in the reality that you live in and make it work for you in this reality, all that is useless information. You need a plan. And not only just a plan, you got to have the active ability to work the plan. I know a lot of motherfuckers got shit drawn up on blackboards. It look real good. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes time to put that shit in reality, it never surfaces. It never manifests. So it's a conversation piece you keep having over and over in your mind, but you're not producing nothing in reality to make people support that. And the truth of the matter is, this is a principle that I learned from prison. You can go in prison and not know nobody. But if you are strong, other strong people will gather with you just on the strength that they respect a man when they see one. And it's the same thing with creativity. In the beginning, nobody may not see it. But as long as you are consistent, which is one sign of a strong man, off in the hardest rock. So if you are up against some opposition, just be persistent. If you don't know how to create, get around creators. Look at the blueprint of other leaders who have started things and learn how to do that shit. Because if not, your youth will never have nobody to look like them to look up to. And that's an actual fact. You know what I'm saying? They criticize everything that Trump is doing, but overlook all the foul shit that Barack done. You overlook all that shit. To me, I had told a brother when I was still in the joint. And I told him, I look at Barack Obama like a water moccasin. And he was like, what you talking about now, God? You always talking. I said, no, a water moccasin got a black body, but a white mouth. And that's how I look at all of those leaders. They come in black skin, but they talk white ideas and white concepts come from out of their mouth. That's why it was so easy for him to be black, but yet be the only one to bomb Africa and kill Muammar Gaddafi. You know what I'm saying? With Hillary right by his side. He's skinning and grinning and lollygagging and stutter stepping around a bunch of people who he know have an agenda against his own, but he ain't even strong enough to try to get something out of the deal because like the God knowledge just said, we know these systems wasn't put in place with us in mind anyway.
Right. So
but
we expected.
Right. But the flaw that we make is just that. Why are you expecting fairness from your enemy?
Right.
Build on that.
Indeed, no doubt. It's like we go to the master, the same one that you holler loudly, publicly, that you don't really like, you're not too fond of because you feel oppressed. But yet you want these favors, you want all these benefits to keep going. They're getting rid of Medicaid, they're getting rid of Medicare. Well, maybe it's time to really get a job and get up off them government systems. See, them Democrats, I'm against the Democrats. I'm gonna let you know that off the rip. Straight up. I am, because when change need to be made, I'm just bold enough to make it. And they don't only ones change the world, the ones that's bold enough to go the other way. I was never really the one to go the way that everybody else say go. I want to know why they say don't go that way. So I'm the one that's bold enough to say I'm gonna go that way and see why not. And if I don't see what they talking about, I'm gonna keep going that way. And so far under these democratic systems, all I've been seeing is KKK and all of those ideals that go with the KKK party. And I ain't one to ignore it because I know how to change my mind. You know what I mean? I used to be a Democrat. I used to follow my grandmother and them ideas. But when I got older and I learned and gathered my own ideas, I started thinking for myself. I ain't with the group thing. You know what I mean? I read Animal Farm in 1984. I understand what it means for these type of systems and these governments and how these societies operate. I understand that clearly. So I ain't fooled, but I know what the Illuminati look like. I know where they are. I know how they hide. I like the people that can't be bribed, can't be controlled, can't be manipulated. You know what I mean? That's what I like. They real leaders, revolutionaries. I don't like the ones that go with the plan. Because the plan is the bullshit. It's the creative bullshit. We know it's manufactured bullshit. You know, the United States, that's a corporation. The people that know that. You know what I mean? So it's really not governed by Congress in the House, really, like it's set up to believe. That's what we tricked into believing. It goes that way. That's why we're always looking at it as unfair. You know, Trump, the only one don't have a bloodline connected to no slave masters. He the only one that ain't related to none of the other 45. Him and one other one. You know what I mean? So I look at the facts of the matter. I don't get caught up in personal opinions and their feelings. The shit he done, ain't no other man not done. Oh, he grabbed a woman by the pussy. Well, what man ain't grab a woman by the pussy to be a man? Like, they exaggerate shit that ain't really.
Is,
you know,
people to say this shit out loud.
Yeah, and it's like
people don't understand.
They said, well, he got 34 felonies. Yeah, that's for hush money, saying, bitch, don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Don't tell him nothing. Take this money. That's what the felonies for. But people have overlooked that and said, well, no, he had felonies. Well, the facts of the matter remain. It came out that nothing stuck. So it could. You know, the stuff that Slim went through, most of us as minorities been through. We seen how the system do you when they want you. They don't care about no color. If you go against their agenda and their plan, they try and take you down.
That's it.
And that's what they went at Slim for. And I admire his resilience and to stand firm and all that shit. Everything they threw at him, my man still struck him. You know what I mean? That's what I like, fortitude. See, this is the difference between religious people. Religious people get caught up on a story, right? And the spiritual person get the message, right? And it's almost like this. People get caught up on what his background's supposed to be. Well, he this, he that. So the fuck what? And you are what? I'm quite sure y'all black and we support the Black Panther Party, right? So what's wrong with that? That's just like a white person saying you shouldn't support that. How you gonna get mad when people support their people? And I ain't saying nothing that was biased. I seen fairness. I seen people that embrace America get fair treatment. But the ones that complain is the ones that's gonna always see a problem. You know what I mean? I don't play the victim role. I understand that life gonna be a struggle, no matter who in there, no matter who come. My job is to figure it out and not cry on the sideline. Ain't nobody else crying. No other race of people crying. They picking up shit, getting to it. Whether they got to sell roses or bracelets, they getting to it. We the only ones sitting back waiting for a handout. Still think the world owes something from the man that you say that don't like you. From the one that you claim are gonna have us in concentration camps. I'm still waiting on concentration camps. I'm still waiting on all that. I'm waiting on everything that they said was gonna happen. Project 2025. I'm still waiting. Like nothing happened. It's like, yo, we gotta get to a reality and stop wasting time and learn how to take advantage of opportunity when we got a chance to. Because we don't control who in there. If Kamala was in there and would have won, and she would have sent some troops into D.C. and it would have stopped, she would have been hailed as a hero. They would have looked at her like, look how she got in there. I told you, look at that. She stopped the murders, 12 murders, no murders and 12. They would have gave her all the highest honors. So is it really about the effects of your action or the person? That's what people need to answer. They more emotional, and you ask them, what the man do to you that's affecting you? The people that's speaking up about people that lost their jobs, they still got their jobs.
Right.
The people that's speaking up about stuff being changed in the Smithsonian ain't never been to the Smithsonian. The people that want reparations, the people that want reparations, they don't even know their fucking grandmothers and grandfathers.
Right.
They don't even know that far back. So if the people was to tell them, present some documents that you're connected to this bloodline, and you'll get it, y'all ass to be fucking broke. Because y'all don't even know who your ancestors are. That's just the realness of the situation.
Right.
You know, we gotta get out that victim mode, crying, thinking the motherfucker owe us something. And then when we realize that, then we'll start to join hands and unite and build on something together instead of trying to compete against one another.
Yep.
While we got on all European designer clothes,
Yep.
but we claim we want Black Lives Matter. We gotta make our mind up. Start pumping black clothes.
Yep.
Black, all black companies start doing that. That'll show unity by your action, not talking about it, not protesting Target and all that senseless shit. You know what I mean? That's like senseless protest.
Right.
We need to be protesting and giving honors that they ain't had no murders up there, that we saved some lives. It was some lives that have been taken if that ain't happened.
Right.
And I hope that shit happen in Chicago. Straight like that. I hope they clean that up. I want to save lives. If that's what that shit take to make them niggas put them guns down, that's what we need. I don't know why we boycotting that shit. You know what I mean? You should not let your hate for a person dismiss the effectiveness of their actions.
Right.
If their actions is righteous or serve to be righteous or is working for you or beneficial, you got to be able to be receptive to that.
And you can see it.
You can see it. They ain't talking about
ain't
it.
talking
All
this
the other
shit, you
motherfuckers
see
had
it.
all the time in the world to do the same shit. You know, when Obama was in there, every time it was time for him to do something, know what the black people said?
What?
Bro, you black, you know they ain't gonna let that man do nothing. Well, why the fuck is he in there?
Why is he
Get
in
the
there?
fuck out the way
Right,
then.
right.
That's why we don't need them kind. We need strong leaders in that motherfucker. I don't care what color they is. Just make a way so I can make a way.
Right.
And Slim making a way so that we can make a way. And that's what I'm on.
Right.
Straight like, hey, Bonner, you still there?
I'm right here, homie.
Soldier, go ahead, chip in, Soldier.
Nah, man, you know, it was good to see y'all two good brothers Saturday, man. You know, it makes me happy to see y'all out here doing what y'all doing, man.
That's right.
No doubt, fam. Appreciate
To
you.
your phone.
Nah.
Give your mic to us so we can make sure we hear it.
Touch on a few things, like, you know, my girl, she worked for the government for 30 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, she was going back and forth about this, that, and the third. I said, listen, they firing people and whatever, just get out of there. You've been there long enough. So she rolled out, she retired. But guess what she doing? She ain't doing what you like, you know, everybody else saying, you know, they took my job. And she looking for another job. She
That's
got
right.
an interview tomorrow.
That's what
She's
it's
like,
about.
that ain't gonna stop me from doing.
That's right,
You know
yo.
what I'm saying? That's what, you know, everybody should do. And I know everybody's situation is different. You
Right,
know?
right.
And I explained to her about, you know, those of us that was in prison for the amount of time that we were in prison, our mentality is different. So they can't compare themselves to the drive that we have because they didn't miss nothing.
Right.
Right.
Like you said, playing the victim.
Right.
Man, there's just so many people that I know that, you know, and I can't say they went through nothing because they go through stuff. They just didn't go what we went through.
Right.
And I'd be like, what are you crying about? You have every opportunity, every advantage
Yeah.
to switch lanes if you choose to.
That's right.
But you want to stay in this lane and just cry and complain about they took this, they ain't giving me that. So a lot of people get mad at me about, man, you don't know. I said, nah, you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Right.
But I cut the conversation off because I don't want to get into it.
Right.
But I told the girl, you know, she should be commended. And, you know, a lot of her friends, she got a lot of government friends. And those group of strong black women, they all doing the same thing. They applying for other jobs, they going for interview for other jobs. They not just sitting at home, like you said,
That's right.
doing nothing, crying and complaining.
Yeah, it ain't gonna change nothing. It is what it is unless it ain't.
You know what I'm saying? They change lanes. So, you know, how you know you say the black community don't support the black community. You know, after I separated from y'all and I went to Hagerstown, I was with Wood at Hagerstown and they sent me to WCI.
Right.
Yeah.
We used to get I used to get into this conversation with dudes about, you know, because sometimes I would walk off, but then sometimes I bust a U-turn, like, why you feel like, you know, the common thing is, if you're not hating the white man, the next person is, I hate the Jews. I said, why you hate the Jews? I said, the Jews did what we don't do. They said, what you mean? I said, y'all mad at them and you said they control everything because they were smart enough to stick together after the atrocity that was committed against them to keep all their valuables, keep all their knowledge and all their worth in their community.
Right.
And they build business. They build businesses. They sent their children
Right.
They got their own lawyers, they got their own bankers, they got their own lawyers, they got their own retail, their realtors and things like that.
Yeah.
Like you said, that's keeping it in the community.
That's right.
Right.
But we don't like that.
Right.
We don't like that because we do it ourselves. And if you got a black realtor, a black jeweler, a black banker, a black whatever, he all about himself. She's all about herself.
Right.
She ain't trying to get a job. She ain't trying to give me a job. If I say, look, I'm trying to get into the real estate business, it's kind of hard, you know, you ain't go to college for it and so forth and
Yeah,
so
they want
forth.
to
Right.
You giving me all the excuses, but you're not going to tell me how I can get where you at.
Right.
You know? And then last but not least, I was over to Pam's house Sunday, and I played her your video where you was in the truck talking about how, you know, I was chilling until y'all got me started.
Yeah.
And her and I told her, I said, listen, because you know they good, strong Christian women. I said, this my man Wood. You just gotta bypass the lane. You gotta bypass the lane, you know what I'm saying? So they all they did was shake their head like, he telling the truth. He telling the truth. So black people get it. The ones that's smart enough to understand, they understand everything that's going on. They not mad about nothing. They may not like who's doing it.
Right.
But they like the result. They like the results of what's being done.
Right.
And her nephew was there and Shorty like 15 and 16.
Right.
And I feel a certain type of way about him for some, you know, things that have happened in the past, you know, while I was locked up. And I was just looking at him, and he over there on his phone, and every time you hit like a PowerPoint, a talking point, and Pam or something like, that's right, he'd be like, and I get it, because these kids is so, they just so messed up, man, they don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
You touched on the education level.
Yeah.
Shorty go to school, but he ain't learning nothing.
Right.
He ain't learning nothing.
Right.
He didn't go to school.
Right.
So after he left and whatever, you know, Pam was like, she was like, I see you was mad about it. I was like, yeah, Shorty just, he don't get it. He really don't get it. So
They call Sean.
the next day, that Monday,
Ren holler at you.
Ren holler at you, Sean.
okay, tell him me sometimes, stop hollering, hit me.
Yeah, he said stop hollering, hit him, Ren.
He said, stop hollering at him and get at him.
I'm texting it to him, but he can hear it now.
Oh, wow.
Because it's coming through clear.
So the next day, Wood, I played the video for my mother. My mother, 87 years old. God has blessed her to see me come home. You feel me? So I'm always happy when I go with her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, it's my man. I played the video for her at 87 years old. She said, preach, young man, preach.
That's right.
So then my mom went deep. She said, what needs to be done about these kids? I said, man, Mom, if it was me and I had a couple of $1 billion, I'll buy about 100 acres of land and I'll lock their asses up. She said, no. I said, not like when you locked up, not like I was locked up. I mean, you build facilities for these kids where you take them out of the city, you take them off of social media, you put them in these facilities, they forced to get their GED, because these little niggas don't go to school. They don't know nothing. You force them to get their education, but it's a GED. You force them to learn a trade, whatever type of trade it is, and you separate them from this madness that's going on in society, and I guarantee you, they will fall into compliance and they'll be good young black men. But right now, they so caught up on videos, what the rappers doing, they so caught up on social media, what everybody else doing, and that's the life they living.
Yeah.
You know, that ain't right, because like I said, we the ones that's losing the children. Our children is the ones that's falling apart.
Right.
The education system, like you said, they taking out stuff out of the school
Out of
system.
school. And we want to keep that shit like that. Like,
Right.
come on.
Right.
All that shit need to be changed. Everything ain't working, need to be fixed.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, we was taught certain things in school. We had to read certain books. We had to do this. We had to do that. Case in point, and what I'm about to tell you is an actual fact, and it is amazing. I just told somebody this the other day. So you know how serious the education level is. The dude was a part of something. So I'm passing out the commissary. And you know how, you know, you got to sign your little receipt, you got to sign and print.
Right.
So the lady, she was like, excuse me, sir, you didn't sign and print. He was like, I did sign and print. So she was like, no, you didn't. So I was like, let me see it. And I was like, Charlotte, look at this. He was like, what, I signed and print. So because he was a part of something, I didn't want to get into it. I was like, go get such and such, man. Go get such and such right now. So, you know, big dog come down. I was like, man, you need to send him to school, man. He was like, what the fuck he do? I said, look at this receipt. He was like, man, I did sign and print. This guy printed
He printed, he signed. He did what you say. He signed and printed that motherfucker. Half and half. He half and half.
In reality, these kids they need a lot of help, man.
Yes, they
need
do.
a lot of help.
Yeah.
Because if you can't understand to sign your name and print your name, how you gonna make it in society, man?
That's
For
right,
real.
no doubt. Then they the ones that say that the white man hard on them. It's like, yo, you gotta prove your value. Where's your value at?
Right.
No, that's why I'm glad DEI gone. You can't just get in just because, oh, we need at least a certain amount of these people in here just to make it look right. No, we need the best qualified people for the position so that the business can go right. Whoever that happen to be. You know, we too entitled, man. It's like we gotta prove our value. We lost a lot of stock in our value as a people.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So it's like we gotta increase our value before we start demanding shit from the world. You know what I mean? We ain't put in that bit of work. Talking about we got it so hard. We got it the best we ever had it. At this point in 2025. Ain't this many black people had it this good. We ain't had this many black millionaires. Or none of that. You know what I mean? There's some stuff to think about. Go ahead, Lord.
Yeah, I definitely
Last,
go ahead, Sean.
you know, favoritism, like you said, the DEI thing, the favoritism. I had an argument with a family member about affirmative action because, you know, they got white people going to Howard now, and I'm talking about he is disgusted. I said, what you mad about? He said, what you mad? What you mean? White people going to Howard? That's our school. I said, we want them to go to that schools.
That ain't our school. That the white man still own that. We don't even own no HBCUs.
Cover name
Morehouse,
on that shit.
Spelman, all of them. They
All
white
that
people,
shit.
Rockefellers own that. Like we always claiming some shit, and we don't even own the shit.
They put a black cover name on that shit.
Every black so-called owned organization, the majority of them, whatever they doing, buildings or whatever, I said, where do you think they get their money from?
Yeah.
It ain't theirs.
But we keep acting like we don't need them. We don't know how to hunt, fish,
Right.
or survive off the land, nothing.
None of
So it's
that
like,
shit.
yo, y'all better know that, yo.
Motherfucking supermarkets closed down. We're done, son.
Yeah.
They don't.
I think people have a real misunderstanding of what self-efficiency is, self-reliance
No
is,
doubt.
self-efficiency, reliance is.
Him
You don't
saying
rely on nobody but
I'm
yourself.
saying when that shit.
No,
Yes,
but
because you have to call him Mr. Terry
I
Clark.
don't think people really understand the definition of what those words mean.
Yeah.
Right. Facts.
Go ahead, Lord.
Cause you know, I go get a loan from the bank for $10 million and I open a business. That's my business? Nah, because don't let my business go under. The bank taking all that back. That's their business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
No
taking
doubt.
all that back.
I think
So,
that in respect to what you're saying, especially about the wealthy and the entertainers with millions, and when you was talking about building this compound and taking these millions of dollars and doing that, we actually have enough black entertainers from all these major cities around the world to really contribute some chunk change that would add up to a mountaintop that could really provide some resources for these children in these inner cities. But for some reason, they suffer from that I'm the only nigga that made it syndrome, and they just refuse to give back. And that's another thing. When you dealing with organizations and structures, when you talk about other nationalities, you're right. They send them to school to learn certain things so they can get certain positions in different business and different corporations. And they are held accountable for what they learn. We the only people that allow our people to get rich, and they come from these same ghettos we come from. And on the street level, if a motherfucker ain't giving nothing back, you had organizations that will push up on them, homeboys that'll be like, man, he ain't welcome around here no more, he ain't doing nothing.
Right.
But what about all these rich ass stars that come from our projects, that come from our neighborhoods, our cities, and our towns? Yo, they owe something back to the youth. God damn. They the same one chasing these young rappers, buying all their albums. I'm not saying you owe nobody nothing because you getting pushed up on. I'm saying it should be something in you to want to see the youth grow, to want to see their consciousness expand beyond education, to become enlightened and educated so that they can become more creative and more productive in society and create the type of society that we really need. And on the flip side, since so much shit has happened to us whenever we tried to do that, because we had black communities, like Seneca Village up in Central Park area where whites bulldozed it and built Central Park over. You're not going to be able to get anything if you can't protect what you got. It's the same way in the street. You can't get money, you can't hustle if you can't protect the money that you're getting. So just because you have these things, that doesn't mean there are not people that don't want to see us with it. We still have to create that structure where we know how to protect what we own and not just get it. You know what I'm saying? And so anything of value deserves to be protected. Our youth being molested, our young girls being touched, like, don't they have value? And if they do, why aren't we protecting what is valuable? And this is the part of manhood that's missing. I grew up in where automatically, like, yo, you do that, you're definitely off your head, yo. It ain't no excuses for that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? But now we live in a society where we make excuses for our shortcomings. There's no accountability. There's no responsibility. While other races, they hold motherfuckers accountable. You know what I'm saying? You go in Chinatown, them triads to chop your ass up. You touch one of them little babies or do something and molest a child. But us, we walk around in jail with them talking about he got raped, yo. We whispering like we doing something wrong. That shit should be put on blast. Expose them niggas because they're detriments to our growth and development. You scarring a woman for the rest of her life by violating her. That definitely ain't peace. You know what I'm saying? Right. But back to the use of money and the accumulation of money is two different things. A lot of people love to accumulate it, but they're not brilliant enough to use it in an area where it is most needed. And I think that's where financial literacy come in. You got a lot of people with a lot of money. We really don't have no excuse no more. Black people got a couple dollars now. You know what I'm saying? We definitely got a couple dollars, man. We just not using that shit for the right things because our mind ain't right and our heart ain't right. When your heart and your mind not in alignment, man, shit go left. You know what I'm saying? And so the blame game, we got to stop all that shit. But it is some accountability. It is some responsibility. And we got to grow the fuck up, man. We got to man up and stand up. We got to woman up, man. We got to do all that shit. Man, woman, and child, sun, moon, and star. That's our personal universe, man. Without that light, without that information, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because we don't even have a group of men with natural talent in abundance no more. You know, I had like a homeboy, his father knew how to work on cars and shit, and automatically that was his gift that he passed down to his sons. Like he taught his sons how to work on fucking cars. Like where the gifts that we pass down to the next generation? It's certain qualities that has been taken out of us. We've been robbed, man. We are spoiled people because nobody want nothing that's spoiled. Be like, man, she's spoiled. I don't want nobody to spoil because a piece of fruit that's spoiled, you can't do nothing with it. It's no good. You got to throw that shit away. You know what I'm saying? But these are the things where we need to tighten up on. We can't even teach our children how to change a fucking bike wheel on a mongoose because we don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Supermarkets close and shut everything down. And let's just say that all of your racist theories really become a reality. Let's just say they don't sell black people shit. What do we own?
Absolutely not a fucking thing.
You don't own no fucking toilet tissue. You got billionaires that's black, millionaires that's black, 100,000aires that's black. You ain't got no fucking toilet paper. You ain't got no fucking tampons for your woman. You ain't got no diapers for your babies. If they stop selling us that shit, we be fucked up. Yet we want to talk about how much fucking Gucci we done bought. And I'm not criticizing Gucci. You might see me with that shit on too. But my point is, I'm not lost in it. I'm not consumed by that shit. You know what I'm saying? Where that becomes a priority. All that shit is not primarily on my list. You know what I'm saying? But what we need to understand is that, man, listen, we got to get our shit together because this street code And the self code, really, there's no comparison. We got to do for self. We got to look out for self. And that's one thing that I do got to give the Honorable Elijah Muhammad credit for. He came out with a blueprint to do for self. He owned a string of restaurants. He owned farmland. He owned a bunch of airplanes until his son fucked that money up and lost all that shit. And then they had to work to get it back. But he created the idea. Whether you liked him or not, he was doing something productive with his money where we was producing our own food, our own farmland. You talk about all this genetically modified shit. Well, get some land and get some chickens and shit and raise them and feed them yourself.
Right.
That's what we got to do.
Complain.
Instead of complaining about it and bitching about it, because you're really complaining to somebody who don't want to hear that shit anyway.
Right.
That's what I wanted to swing over to. Sam was just saying the same thing. Motherfuckers really don't respect the gifted no more. They just don't. Another comment he made to the brother that was on the phone line, he said, brothers missed out on all that playtime period when there was a lot of y'all, when a lot of y'all left. I mean, I guess he mean jail time. A lot of that was left out here, period, and the shit just ended. So I guess it just, you know, was nowhere to go. The kids wasn't learning shit, and they ain't got shit, so they think it's game time at all times. The push button kids lost everything. They think everything is a fucking game.
Right, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
no
Yeah,
doubt.
and speaking on that, and it's like the baby epidemic, like especially when a lot of us guys went to prison between maybe the 90s all the way up to like now. Those missing years, you know, I don't so much really fault the kids. It's like a lot of blame come to us.
Right.
Because we were missing. We were that next missing link in the chain. So we can't remove responsibility from ourselves. Because we definitely played a major role by us being absent in the same way the effects that we had, something was absent from us.
Right.
So the missing link gets down.
Right.
But the thing is that we came up under a value system under my generation that certain stuff was forbidden. We had a code of ethics.
Right.
You know,
It was
it's
a code
like
of ethics.
it was a
Even
code
though
of
it was a
ethics
street
that we
code,
were
it was
taught
still a
that.
code of
We were
ethics,
taught it
yeah.
because that's what we saw and that's what they demonstrated. You know what I mean? Like
Tracy,
selling drugs and hustling and all that was forbidden. School was first and all that. You couldn't even come near that. They didn't even want you to see what was going
Right.
on. It was
Right.
forbidden to see that.
Right.
You know, now we embracing it. We look at that like it's some culture, but we really destroying the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the detriment to us. We destroy the culture with the music. We destroy the culture with our language, our lack of vocabulary.
Okay.
So it's like we really like destroy the culture unintentionally because of our ignorance, our lack of knowledge. But the craziest part is that when we do try to bring the light or the knowledge, we don't even have enough sense to recognize it,
Right.
to even give it a shot. We'd rather stay in a failing cycle or a stressful cycle versus trying something new. We got so conditioned with pain and suffering that anything that's not pain and suffering seems like a trick. You know what I mean? It
That's
seems
so
like it's too
sad.
good to be true. I mean, even like in relationships, you know what I mean? A person can get a mate and then they can check off all them boxes. Now it's saying too good to be true. Now you gotta go start looking for something wrong.
Right.
Instead of saying, damn, that might be just really a good person.
Right.
And that is so true because
You
I'm
know?
a person that does that.
Yeah, and it's like,
wait a minute, it's
no,
gotta
it's
be
not something, it gotta be something.
Oh, because your left leg is, oh, now I get it.
Now you're
No,
looking for
no,
shit,
no,
and then you add,
Yeah.
then it's
I
that.
do
So
that, I
it's
do
like,
that.
we gotta treat a person authentic as authentic, as credit for something they ain't represent.
Right.
That stuff fairly, that's with any relationship in life. Like, it's 100% in any relationship. You responsible 50, they responsible for 50. I don't know, parental relationship, dude.
Yeah.
You should not cross that,
Right.
creating the imbalance.
You're creating
The only way that you can properly nourish the relationship is to do your 50. If they come up short with their 50, then it ain't time for them to get there. But you can't cross the line and pull them over there because
Right.
you're going to be disappointed for
Yeah.
what they don't know.
Yeah.
And then you're going to fault them every time they come up short with something they don't know. You got to let them go through those cycles of learning until they get there.
Yeah.
You know? And that's just with anything that you're teaching with knowledge and information.
Yeah.
Yesterday's truth can be tomorrow's falsehood. So don't get caught
Just
up on
like
shit
that.
that ain't working.
Yeah.
Shit that ain't working, change the channel, change the direction, give it a shot. What you got to lose?
What do you have to
You
lose?
know this shit ain't working, so why would you keep staying with something that ain't working
Sam
instead
is
of taking
saying
a
that over
shot?
here. Black motherfuckers that keep doing the same
Same
thing.
shit.
Or it's working or not. Over on YouTube, Tracy Heiston said she 37 and her father just telling her don't have sex on the first date. What the fuck?
Peace, Tracy.
Yeah,
How you?
Indeed, no
Yeah,
doubt.
that's really-
Tracy, I feel you. He a little late to the start, unless you haven't had sex yet. I understand.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah, a lot of
Tracy.
things we don't get it until it's late, or like Sam say, you just keep doing it just because you've been doing it.
Just because you've been
I'm gonna
doing
just
it. And
keep
that's
doing
with our policies. It's like,
It's
we got to
coming out
start
wrong.
changing some of the policies. I remember that black girl, Kim Klacik, was running for Republican for the congressional. I think she was running for mayor or something like that for the Republican side. But of course, it's a blue state, you know. But it's like black people, won't we give her a shot? She a black queen. Give her a shot.
At the same
We
time,
know
she
that this
black
side
woman,
ain't really working out for us,
Right.
ain't really doing but so much. They trying on certain parts, but we need to try something different. It's like we keep doing the same thing and just rather keep complaining.
Right.
Instead of just saying, yo, well, I ain't really losing much. Let me go ahead and see what this is about. See if I can. You'd be
Right.
surprised, man. We ain't got long here. Our clock ticking. We'll stay the
Fact.
same thing and keep the same process of some shit that ain't working. We'll stay on the same job we hate.
Yup.
We'll stay in the same relationship that we ain't happy in. And we are waste time waiting for people to change. People ain't going to change. They are who they are. They're going to be what they're going to be. Ain't nothing you can do about it. All you can do is change your perception about it. Change how you're going to move about it. Learn how to navigate the course. Don't get mad because the wall ain't moved. Just go around the wall, go over it, go under it, but don't
Right.
stand at the wall and complain about it. Go around it. Go over
just as
it.
worse
Go
as
turn
the people
around.
who are hitting
Yeah,
those
man, I hate that for our people, man. It's like that's all we do is whine and complain. But how come about this? How come about that? How come you don't get the fuck off your ass and make a difference?
Right.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? The same
doubt.
shit you complain about, you can change.
Yup.
It's always but this, but that. I ask motherfuckers, you going to the thing you say you was going to? Well, nah, I gotta work, I can't get off. You gotta alter some shit sometimes. Sometimes those sacrifices for a reason.
Right.
We want to stay in our whole routine the whole time.
And expect
then
everything to come
and
better.
expect it to come better. You might sit there and pray for forgiveness or pray for a blessing or pray for this, pray for strength. And then as soon as the obstacle comes, you crying. Well, how you gonna get strong if you don't go through that? You ask for strength.
Right.
So here's the obstacle to get that so you can gain strength and you don't take it.
Then you ask God, why you do this to me?
Let me
God,
just
you
meet
know,
the
why
right
you
person.
do this?
Just let me meet the right person in my dream. Then say that, and then somebody out the clear blue say, you know, there's something going on over there. You want to go? I got 2 tickets. Since it's not in your comfort zone and nothing you're familiar with, oh no, because you don't see a benefit in it for you personally, you'll decline. All
Well,
along,
stop telling all my business.
all along, that's where the person your person
Right
dreams
there.
at.
It's right
Once
there.
you go there, but we
Right
so
there.
stuck in our cycle of normalcy that we can't even receive blessings because we're stuck and rigid. You
Right.
gotta be like that palm tree. Y'all motherfuckers like oak trees. A strong gust of wind will crack that motherfucker and it will never be no more good.
Yeah.
Bend with the wind sometime. It ain't gonna always be the way you see it. We don't know everything. So some of the shit that you think you know, you might be wrong about. Just ask yourself that.
Right.
What if I'm wrong? You know,
Right.
I had a poem I did. What would you do if you found out that everything that you believed in wasn't true?
Oh, that joint like that.
Right?
You did it
And
at
that's
the
what it's
joint.
about. I say, what would you do if you found out that everything that you believed in wasn't true? What would you do? Would you deprogram from that indoctrination and all of that misinformation and lies that was accumulated from generation to generation upon realizing that we all black patrons and slaves to this matrix? What do you teach your kids? Do you want them to live how you live and do the same things that you did and fear the same things that you feared? Do you want them to worship the same God that you worship, the same traditions that you follow, the same path that you travel? Are you that comfortable with your life choices? Well, for most people, including myself, I seriously doubt it. Because somewhere deep inside, we know it's all a lie, but we refuse to recognize that everything's in disguise, so we rather be chastised with the wool over our eyes. So why am I surprised? From Santa Claus to the Tooth Fairy, from Christmas to Easter, even the resurrection of Jesus, to celebrating the seasons for no apparent reason, saying bless you after sneezing, because your heart skipped a beat. It's like lie after lie. Look at the lie and the word believe. First, they tell us we're not perfect and how we're not worth it, and we all born in sin, and we going to hell if we don't worship. See, thoughts are just vortices of energy that can become fixed and rigid. Those rigid thoughts become fixed opinions. So once your opinion become fixed, you're easier to trick and more inclined to remain ignorant to all that exists. Like the war over the oil in Iraq. Indirectly, that's what they wanted us to believe. But it's much, much deeper than that. See, they invade their museums and destroy their artifacts, like the Sumerian clay tablets and the epics of Gilgamesh. See, if them people really knew how to translate those texts, it would demolish the version of history that they imposed on next. Like Zimbabwe and Zambia used to be called Rhodesia, named after Cecil Rhodes. He was Illuminati puppeteer. But see, think tank organizations is how they masquerade their manipulations by dictating to the populations all the things they want taking place. Like microchipping humanity, invading the privacies of our families, big brothers watching every move, shit on every corner, there's a camera. The book 1984 was written in 1948 about this totalitarian state that we see unfolding every single day. But somehow, in some way, we will always be the prey to a system that was designed to force us to obey without having to say. They overtax us out our pay, especially the minimum wage, and they wonder why we enraged. But it's like this subliminal maze, and we trapped inside this subliminal cage. So they wonder why we go and grab AKs and do things in subliminal ways. Now ask yourself, do you want the truth or just confirmation of your worldview? Because when you're trapped inside of a 5-sense reality, you're unconscious to your consciousness, but believe you are your body. See, consciousness is intangible. It's an energy like our essence. This physical form is just a vehicle to reciprocate our message. We're all aspects of God in our individual form. See, if the universe is the soil, God is the carb, and we're the corn. I'm going to leave it right there.
Peace, peace, peace.
That was, I'm over here with Sam. Sam got facts deep. I'm over here like with hearts and everything on Sam comments.
Yeah,
that was deep.
That bill definitely was peace. I remember when I first heard it.
Sam, that was deep.
We had a poetry show or a talent show at my group, Heal, and you know, everybody was hesitating to go, and the guard got up there and he spit that, and that joint was splitting atoms like he just did. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even feel like I gotta say nothing else. Like
right
that shit.
there.
Anything I say, I'm only half of the reason after that shit. He didn't shut it down with that one. You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's love
but
right
that's the difference between being educated and being enlightened.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, when you educated, you're just taking this system and their data and you using it to progress in this system. But when you start to get enlightened, you start to break psychological barriers. You start transcending space and time because now you speak in a different frequency. What you laying out to the world is received by generation to generation because it's wealth in what you know. And when you drop shit like that, it's like it's worth more than anything, man. That kind of information. They're really trying to ban that kind of information. You know what I'm saying? When you get to talking about the structure of humanity and the matrix and all of this shit that they didn't put together, you know what I'm saying? They keep us running around in a maze, blind. You know what I'm saying? When you take them blinders off and you say, damn, it's a whole universe out there. It's a multiverse out there. Yeah.
Play those caves.
No doubt. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like we gotta teach our children that kind of information because that's freeing. That's what free them. That's what keep the progress going, and it allows them to pass something down to the next generation of substance. Because a lot of shit we know is really not even worth knowing. A lot of that shit is a bunch of useless information. It can't be used. It can't be applied. And you know it can't because the vibration of that shit don't even move you. When you hear somebody spit like that, the very choice of words, how they are aligned, how they are arranged, that shit sends out a frequency, a vibratory note that you can relate to. And you begin to actually vibrate and transcend inwardly. This is the journey, that inward journey that they talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Agree with you.
Straight
that's
up.
How you find your tribe.
Exactly.
Hit right back.
Exactly.
You know, this is where I belong at.
Right. The first instrument, spiritually speaking. No, that's peace.
Yeah.
The first instrument before instruments were created was the voice. The voice created the sound. The sound travels at the rate of 1,120 feet per second. So once it hit the auditory nerve in the ear, it's all. And so the sound get in you and you begin to move. Then when you go back to the scripture, it say the beginning of the word. It's language. It's a compilation of words. In the beginning is the word. Then it say the word was God. God damn, God came from a word? Yeah, because you had to speak God
Yeah,
into
speak it into
existence.
existence.
Nobody would know about any belief system if words wasn't compiled to explain this.
Yeah.
Words define our reality. So when the God was just spitting, he was defining the reality that we live in, but at the same time, breaking you out of that cage that was set, or that trap that was set for us to fall in. You know what I'm saying? And I always salute the God, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm proud to have friends that know shit. I'm proud when people see my circle, they know, yo, we not just talking about no anything, you know you're gonna grow. We was at the group last night and Brother Ham said something, man, that kind of like touched me.
Yo, that was deep.
And he basically was saying like, yo, ever since you and Wood started y'all groups, Healing Uncommon Dialogue, he said, yo, I stopped going to therapy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, I took that as like, damn, that's a high honor when somebody quit therapy because Brother Knowledge dropping some degrees, or I've been blessed with some information that's life changing, it's life transforming. I'm breathing life back into people, and we standing them back up on a square. You know what I'm saying? We teaching them like, yo, this is what it is, and at the same time, we are forming allegiances and bonds with people that they would never forget, because this information is information that you can't find anywhere, and it's not for sale.
Right.
We ain't running around charging motherfuckers for this, but it's worth more than gold.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? With that, I'm gonna let the Edo spark some more degrees.
Indeed, no doubt. That was a good spill, no doubt. Good show. Glad everybody got something out of it. Hope
Everybody got a
Indeed.
lot
Yeah,
out of
get
it. Because
something
I'm
out of
over
it.
here on all 3 screens,
Yeah,
working
man.
and moving, yeah.
And yeah, you know, like God
Sam
always
just said,
say,
group assist therapy too.
unapologetically so.
Yeah.
You know, what you're
No
gonna
doubt.
get on here, you're gonna get some real stuff. It might
Yeah.
touch some nerves, but what you're gonna get is gonna be real.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? Don't be so quick to take offense. Just say, damn, well, what if he know what he talking about?
Right.
What if I'm just the one that's in the dark? You know,
That
ask yourself
part.
that sometime.
Right.
Before you be so quick to go against somebody's idea because it don't align with your own. You know, we learn from everybody. We can learn something from everybody. Something we might know that didn't know yesterday, we can know tomorrow if we're receptive to it. Information always around us. All people are our messengers. It's just what we choose to tune into.
This is what you tune.
You know what I mean? Like if you got too much space for noise, a lot of space for noise, and you keep occupying that space with noise, you ain't got no room for no silence.
Yeah.
Silence ain't gonna be necessary because noise become your new silence, and then silence become your noise.
Right.
So you gotta be careful not to let your silence
You gotta
become your
watch.
noise. You know, some people they can't function by themselves. They can't function in solitude. They gotta be around people,
Right.
no matter who it is. And this is how you always end up with false relationships because you're really looking for social comfort. But really, you're violent bond with anybody, whoever seems like they want to listen to you or not.
That's why I'm good.
Long as you can go, hey yo, what's going on?
on?
All right, gonna roll with you.
Yeah.
You know, and you picking up
Yeah.
personality, you picking up
Right.
frequency, you picking all that up. You gotta really protect your energy out here. You gotta really be careful who you allow in your vibration.
Right, and like Sam saying, that's how you choose your tribe. I
Yeah.
said something to a friend yesterday, 2 days ago, and it crushed me, even though I said it while I was in an emotional space, but it crushed me that I said it.
Right.
That I had to call, like,
Right.
I really apologize. Like, take my apology. Because sometimes you realize as you grow, like, everything ain't okay.
Right, no
I
doubt.
don't care what you claim to be, what
Right.
you was,
Right.
you've grown from that.
Right.
Some people you just rather not hurt
Right.
than to even make them think
No doubt.
I tried to slide you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I just said, Sam said, that's how you choose your tribe by those vibrations that you hear.
No
and he
doubt.
said there go a message saying that your message that you just said.
And it might change. That frequency might change.
Yeah.
You might have vibed last year. This year I might be on a whole nother vibe.
Yeah.
And that should be okay. That don't mean we gotta be enemies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We still can be friends, but our lifestyle just don't
You're
align
not on
no
the same
more.
page.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and that's what it's about. It's about taking your lesson and being able to give a lesson in the process and
Mm-hmm.
not let it all set your journey.
Right.
You know, at least for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna drop a jewel and hopefully you pick it up. You pick it up, you process it
You
right.
good. You didn't,
I'll give you another one.
okay.
If you ain't picking it up, I'm gonna keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Like our job is to try. It's like a relay race.
Yeah.
You know, the further I can get, I'm gonna give you the best advantage I can.
Yeah.
All I need you to do is give me your best effort when you get it.
Yeah.
Right.
I
And, if
pass
you
it to
get,
you.
and when you
Take
give
off.
your best effort, and then we'll have a
Right.
functional race. Even if we lose, we did it together.
Right.
Not
It's not
blaming
a relay
nobody. And we just got. I just hate that for our people. That
Yeah.
blame game. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're too smart, too intelligent. of a people to sit back and look for a handout, wait for a handout. We gotta expect more of ourselves. We gotta raise ourselves up. I don't like excuses. I don't like none of that because I feel like I've been in jail 23 years. If I can come out this motherfucker after been in there all that time and come out here and catch up and figure this shit out slowly, but I ain't nowhere near where I'm at. Definitely not.
Right.
But it's a process, but I'm learning.
Right.
So the jewel ain't always intangible money. The jewel is sometimes an experience.
Right.
That's your value. You create your value by your information and your knowledge in which you're around. When you allow yourself to shut all those circles down and you so isolated, you disadvantaging yourself. Because you ain't opening yourself up to the right source of knowledge. Knowledge comes from everywhere. You gotta be receptive to it. But if you got a fucked up attitude and a fucked up personality, then you gonna shut up your own doors and you gonna think the world unfair to you. You gotta start with your attitude. You gotta have it
up on me. Everybody mistreating me.
Yeah, you look like the whole world. No, what are your qualifications? I gotta do. He was like 20-something years and he come home. So before he come home, I'm talking to him like, okay, so what's up? What you do? Come to find out he don't have his GED. So I said, why do you think I want you around me? You know, I have nothing for you. I don't have a thing. You don't have a GED. I can't even help you with a job.
I can't even help you get a job.
So all I'm gonna be doing is just really helping finance you until you figure something out. That's not my duty and responsibility. If I do that, I'm an enemy of yours. That's what enemies do. They enable you. They cripple you. A friend puts you on your feet. They're gonna give you the knowledge and lead you, but you gotta have something to work with.
Right.
Otherwise, you dead weight to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like so many people, we gotta come out here. There's no excuse. We running laps around these motherfuckers out here. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
For real. It's like motherfuckers still standing still. That's why I don't take no excuses from no grown ass man. Straight up. Because there's no way, no reason. You know, whether you're in a religion or not, they should be your brotherhood. That should be your source.
Right.
When you come up short.
Right.
If they can't be your source when you come up short, then you're in the wrong spot. I don't care what it is.
Right.
If it's not working for you, it's not for you.
You
If it's
be okay
working
to
for you,
say
it's
that.
for you. You gotta be okay to say that.
Some people not okay to say that. Right now, y'all getting a lot of love from Bub and Sam, like respect to the brothers, like they don't want to have a piece of alignment that y'all saying on two different
and
platforms.
that's that being an unapologetic realist that the God was talking about, because really what we doing now is the same shit we was doing in the joint. Is just more enhanced now. You know what I'm saying? It's to a broader audience. It's, you know, it's deep. You know what I'm saying? But dude seen us preparing ourselves for this. So we came out and started doing this and doing that. It was like, damn, yo, everything they said they was going to do, they're doing. And it's like the Elo just said, we ain't even really scratched the surface yet. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even scratched the surface yet. But I want to talk about being armed with your money. That is what defines you. Wood touched on something heavy when we was talking about getting monetary gain. And that is very necessary in this world. But if you ever lose it, you want people to respect you for who you are.
That's right.
Not for what you're holding.
That's right.
And a lot of guys have slid by just because they got some paper. No intelligence, no discipline, no honor, no structure in their life, no integrity, and they damn sure ain't loyal. But the only thing they got is some paper. I was listening to I think it was the rapper Dave East, and he said that it's this guy way older than me, but he called me Big Homie. And he said the dude called me Big Homie because I got money. He said, but technically he my big homie. But because he don't have anything of value.
Wow.
He considers me his big homie. And this is that displacement of manliness and intelligence and consciousness that I'm talking about, and integrity. Because, you know, back in the day, like when you came around like your grandfather, it was a reason why grand was in front of father. Because he had like this caliber and energy about himself. When you meet somebody grandmother, it's like, yo, I'm meeting the goddess of the rest of the women in the family. You know what I'm saying? Because they had fortified themselves with a character that spoke volumes. You could be the illest motherfucker on the block, but if Miss Jones or Miss Johnson come out that house and see you doing something, you like this, you putting your heat away, you acting like you ain't nothing. Because you already know.
Sam said, speak on it.
It's a respect there that goes beyond what we consider respect. And we're just trying to, we don't even want to do what we had, honestly speaking. We don't even want to reproduce that. We want to produce something greater. We don't want to revisit the past. Yo, you know, we built the pyramids. Well, if we did that, then goddamn, we should be doing something even iller now.
Right now.
You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
if that structure of family was once in place, then we can't go back to what was. We got to now produce something that's more stronger and has more longevity than what that had. And I think a lot of times, a lot of us don't want to make the personal sacrifices that it take to build people. That's why a lot of guys don't understand what connects me and the ELO. We have a passion for seeing people building themselves to the next level because we know technically that is the only way you can really justify your existence.
That's right.
If we die today or tomorrow, do you know how many people be like, damn, I learned so much from the God? Like, yo, I remember La was just talking about this shit back in the 80s. I remember they used to sit in the dorm and just talk about, you know, all of this Illuminati Matrix reptilian shit. Me and him been talking about that shit.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that shit probably almost 2 decades ago. And it's like the rest of the world just kept catching up. And those without blinders on, they're like, damn. And even now, like sometimes when we say shit, the shit be so remarkable, but to us it's normal conversation. Because we've been at it, building for such a long time with this, and we took it serious. Like we used to spend money on books. I got books, and a lot of people got mad at me. I got books that I didn't leave in jail. I got books that I told motherfuckers, no, I'm taking these home. They couldn't understand why I would do that because I told them if the book ever go out of print, I'm not going to be able to have this copy because I left it with you. You can get something though. I'm going to leave you some things, but this particular one,
It's going with me.
it had so much value and I knew the value of it. Right. And that is what makes you who you are, how you digest information, how you share, how you build, and how you build other. If you can take a group of killers and transform them without a religious doctrine, without coming to them with religiosity and say, yo, look, check this out. This is what we got to do. We got to stop doing this. We got to stop doing that. We got to move this way now. And you can get a bunch of killers to listen to you. Oh, you somebody special. If you always been dealt, and I use this metaphor, this analogy all the time. If you always been dealt a winning hand and you succeed in life, there's nothing special about you.
Yeah.
But if you was always dealt a losing hand and you learned how to transform that losing hand into a winning hand, oh, you are very special. You know what I'm saying? Because you let nothing depress you. You got some people fall so far in depression, they don't even make a move. You're like, what the fuck? I'm still laying in the bed. 2 days then went by. What the fuck? You still in the bed? Yeah, yo, I'm depressed. I don't even have time to get depressed.
Like, how do you even get here?
Right.
I don't have time. I'm busy thinking, damn, how I'm going to put this together, how I'm going to form this, how I'm going to connect that with that. I'm planning my next road trip. I'm trying to go citywide with this theme, stop the youth.
I'm on every move.
Stop the youth from killing. Yo, we got to get on board and go state to state. We can't leave it up to somebody else to save our people. We can't leave it up to them. And even if they do help, that's peace, but we still got to do our part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think Immortal Technique said no one man can do everything, but everyone can do something.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got some motherfuckers that's choosing not to do nothing.
No.
And to be honest, it's a lot of motherfuckers that know some shit and they just refuse to share it.
Just won't even share it.
Yeah, they won't even share it. It's like they holding that shit like it's real money. You know what I'm saying? They stingy with the information. And that goes back to that, I want to be the only one. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers that know the way, but they want to make it hard for you. I had a motherfucker tell me when I first came home, he said, no, lie, wait before I, bless you with this because I want you to see how it feels to suffer. I looked at this nigga like he was crazy. I just did 31 years. You don't think I know how it feels to suffer? Come on, get the fuck out. He told me that shit. I told him, man, whatever the fuck it is you supposed to have for me, I don't even want
You
it.
go ahead and keep that.
Yeah, that shit rubbed me the wrong way so many times at once. That's like a motherfucker do something to you and it affect you in every area.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like the nigga slapped me twice at once. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? And that's our people mentality. Our people mentality is because I went through mad pain. Fuck helping you so you can avoid it.
Right.
They want you to go through the same shit. What the fuck you think I went through it for so you would not have to?
Right.
That's the whole purpose.
Back to his point where if you gotta know your tribe.
Yeah, man. We're so disunited.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't
That
even know what
disunity,
you did.
being bitter, that hating. You got some motherfuckers, man, they know you telling them the right shit. They just hate to take advice from you.
Cause it's you, just cause it's you.
They just hate to take advice or they
Yeah,
fighting.
it's coming from you.
Just
Right.
because it's coming from
Yup.
you, they don't even
No
want
matter
to
what
hear.
you say, they gonna go
And it
against
could be absolutely
Yup.
correct. You can have the map, the whole blueprint, because you said it.
Yeah.
Yup.
I'm gonna go over here. Now
dismiss
you
it.
go over here and all the danger happen over there.
Yup.
Yeah.
You know, everybody got their own.
I can have a cure.
choice.
I can be a doctor and I can have a cure.
I don't want it
For
to.
50 people, they can
I
be
don't
alive
know
for
who
a
he think
cure.
he is. I don't even want
And
it.
if it look like it's gonna go to help finance me, oh no, they'd rather die first.
Yeah, die
It's sad
first.
that we like that. And it's like, where did that come from? It's like,
Right.
where did
I
that
don't
man of
know. It's
self-hatred
just the inner
might
hate.
come from? And I blame, and I swear, and I hate to even get on that, but I still blame Martin Luther King with that integration shit. Because that's when we turned our back on each other and thought we was
Ooh.
getting in. We was united before that. We was forced to be united. They
Yeah.
done bombed Black
Yeah.
Wall Street. They
Yeah.
done rebuilt the shit back up. We was cool. Y'all don't want us to in y'all bathroom restaurant?
Don't worry
Cool,
about
we
it.
good. We
Yeah,
over
not
here.
at all.
We started making bean pies because it was more affordable and it stretched across the we fed so many people. That was really a good, smart, strategic
Come on,
economic
man.
move. That's the history of the bean pie.
Right.
Because they took that to stretch it because we couldn't afford steak and all the other shit.
Right.
Because it was a Great Depression. We was already struggling and suffering. The men couldn't work. You know what I mean? So
Now
then
you tell
here
me
come Martin
something
Luther King.
else.
Now here come yo saying, "Damn boy, they trying to let us in now." No, they want to infiltrate us and figure out what we're doing, how
They
it's
use
it
you to
working.
get us
But
out.
they're gonna use you, right? Then that's how they use him to open the door for us. It's supposed to have been about equal rights, equal justice, equal protection. That's what integration is supposed to have been about.
Yeah.
That Martin Luther King, I have a dream shit. That was his dream.
Yeah.
That wasn't our fucking dream.
Right.
Them older black people, our elders, they ain't go for that shit. They done fought too hard. We ain't sharing that with them. We good.
Right.
Fuck you talking about?
We found
You know what I mean?
We good.
You
We
know,
go
so
from
and
here.
that's what he did. And ever since then, as soon as they seemed like they was letting us in, we started getting uppity. We
Yeah.
started turning our back on each other like we made it. They letting us in. They ain't let you in. The Mr. People's
We let us in.
they letting us get a little bit of
Right.
down there. Oh shit, they said there's only 2 families. I'm gonna get John Boy and them down there, and I'm gonna get Tyrone, and we going on down. And they'll go right on down there and sell their mom soul
Everything's
down
split
there,
up.
and everybody split up. And then they got tricked and they used them. Okay, boy, I gave you this land. What they got going on down there? Ain't where we sold each other out in slavery. Before we get to the Europeans, we were selling out each other first. Everybody was using slavery, so we ain't gonna get caught up on that goddamn transatlantic mid-ship coming across
Don't do
shit.
it,
We was
don't do it.
everywhere. We
Yeah.
the original people. Don't let them tell you that.
Yeah.
We was already everywhere.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So don't let them tell you we came over here on no fucking shit.
Yeah.
We sold slaves. We sold each other before the Europeans even got over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that shit shouldn't be a thing now. We ain't been changed, so stop acting like you want. Unshackle your mind now.
No
Your
doubt.
wrists is in the shit. Everything else is off of you.
Right.
Unshackle your mind. That's the last thing we gotta fucking unshackle. That shit's still locked up if you think we're being oppressed right now.
Yeah, and the shit's
You know
so
what I mean?
deep because Ghana has a apology letter to the blacks in America for the role that they played in slavery. And they offer dual citizenship to blacks in America. You can look this shit up online if you think I'm
Nobody went
bullshit.
over there yet.
They offer dual citizenship to blacks in America for the role that they played in selling us into slavery. They have slave dungeons and all that shit over there that they'll walk you through and show you when they are still in Ghana. a lot of times, again, like I said, silent weapons for quiet wars. We allow somebody else to pick our enemy for us. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we don't see the trick until it's played on us, and then we want to cry out about it. All them people who joined Martin Luther King and his march on Washington, it was a damn picnic, and he down there, he had the big six, him, Jesse Jackson, what's the other one name? Al Sharpton and W.E.B. Du Bois. He, to me, was like what Martin Luther King was. He allowed them, man. He's the main reason why Marcus Garvey met his demise. W.E.B. Du Bois publicly said that we must stop the intellectual black from with Marcus Garvey. And they couldn't get Garvey on anything because he was a disciplined man. So they trumped up some bullshit on him about mail fraud and just put him out of the country. You know what I'm saying? Like they do all our black leaders who are really making real progress. You know what I'm saying? They had the Black Star Line, which was the black ship. And they'll try to tell you that blacks didn't have nothing back then. And because we don't really have knowledge of self, we'll go for that shit. No, see, we needed them because we ain't had nothing. We had a whole lot. It was when you got with them that your ass didn't have nothing no more because all of your inventions. Do you know why the patented company was created? It was created so when blacks invented shit, whites could run down to it and put their name on their creation. They ain't created shit. The broom that you use to sweep the floor, the dustpan, the ironing board, all of that shit was created by blacks. And if a white name is on it, it is because they stole his creation and went to the patenting office and got it legally signed in his name. But all that shit was created by us. And if you think about it, it makes sense because we was doing all the work anyway.
We was doing all the work.
The first refrigerator was called a Standard because the refrigerator was created by a black man named John Standard. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got your gas mask, your traffic light, every damn thing. We prove we're the gods every day. We prove we done raised every civilization on this planet. The discoverer of the North Pole is not a white man. It's a black man. A lot of people don't know that. Oh, it's cold in the North Pole. That's where white people from. Nah, buddy. 4,400,000,000, man. We've been on the planet so long. You cannot find our birth record. They found the bones of Lucy. Her real name was Artie over in Kenya, and her bones was 4.4 million years old, and she had a mother. She didn't just spring up out the ground. But because religion has taught you that man is only a certain amount of years on the planet, you allow that shit to brainwash you and make you think, oh no, see, the Bible said that God created Adam from the dirt of the ground and created Eve from his rib. Man, if you don't get out of here with that ABC, right. And so because you can't find our birth record, whites know this. That's why they in the labs trying to get your melanin and shit. They paying money to siphon melanin off, I mean literally off your body. And I could tell you some real shit that'll fuck you up. They used to eat you, they wanted melanin so bad. And I know y'all think I'm tripping. They had ears and shit in jars as souvenirs. You've been the envy of the world for so long and you don't even know who you are. Ancestors kicking you in your ass in your sleep every time you turn over. That ain't you turning over. That's your ancestor with his foot in your ass because you've been bluffing so goddamn long and you done forfeited every jewel that they gave you, man. Indeed. Every last one of them. But it's cool though, we here, you know what I'm saying? And we know what the time it is, we know what the mission is, so we just got to get to it. That's all. No more excuses, man. Step on the gas and let's roll, man.
Yes, and still doing it.
Straight up.
Indeed, no doubt.
You know, it's crazy that we are like 18 minutes outside our time, but the numbers on every screen is not changing. So enough people, to me, is listening to not even turn off, but I guess that also comes when something is yours.
Yeah, no doubt.
You get to do what you want. So we get to talk as long as we want to.
Facts.
We get to talk as long as we want.
Yeah, but we're gonna save some for next week. We hope we captivated some, interest some. You know what I mean? Even if it ruffles some feathers, you got some questions, man. That's what this is. This is a lab.
Okay,
You know what I
no
mean?
doubt.
We can always share ideas. You know, it'll never be a debate, but it'll be I share what I know, and you do what you want with it. You
Right,
know what
no
I mean?
doubt.
We can all have
Facts.
different perspectives. We can all enhance each other's vision and perspectives, and we just be open enough just to be receptive to it. And it start with communication. Then it start
No
with
doubt.
behavior. And then your behavior changes and transforms people. So you want to take that behavior, that reinforced behavior, and then just start manifesting. Be the change you want to see every day, from work, from the time you leave your house, from the time you get in your car, from the being courteous in traffic, being courteous to the drive-through people, being courteous to the people at the gas station. This goes a long way because you get a chance to teach people. You complain about the world. Start being the change. Start teaching people why they doing that shit. It's the burden is on you for you to be able to find a medium to convey that to them. If you
Facts.
see somebody doing something that you don't think is appropriate or you think should be different, it's on you to find a way to communicate that. If you can't, don't complain about it.
Right.
If you ain't gonna fix it. If you see something on the floor, don't complain and ask who dropped that on the floor. Just get it up if you don't want it on the floor. You know, we create a lot of stress, you know what I mean, raising y'all cortisol levels. You know, that's all you do. You raise your cortisol levels, you know what happened after that. You know what I mean? You sluggish, you ain't got no energy. You sleeping all the time, you stressed. You know, you got
Another thing that
decrease
comes
them
with knowing who your
cortisol.
tribe is.
Knowing your tribe, unnecessary stress that we intake that we don't realize.
Like, I really
from
actually
complaints and everything. You know what I mean?
Unconsciously realize now that when like him call my phone to perk up, even if I'm like not even up. Because the first thing he gonna say is, I heard how you say hello, what's the problem? You should not be feeling X, blah, 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 blah. So now if I see him, I got,
Perk
hey,
up.
yo, what's
Yeah.
up? What's going on? What you
Yeah.
want? Like, and it actually like give me something,
Right.
give me a boost of energy. Sam, I'm sorry, I'm just seeing your message. Always know y'all, if y'all want to get, Tiffany said, wow, I'm glad you've been listening sis all this time. Hope your husband's sitting with you. If y'all want to join the show, just ask the permission. Send your email and I can add y'all right to the screen.
Indeed.
I'm just saying Sam text, he wanted to get in your conversation.
Oh, word,
And
I
I'm
ain't saying.
just saying that Sam, I so apologize. He's been watching the whole time.
Hey, Shawnees.
Hello, yeah. Yeah, but that's interesting. You just said that. That's real talk.
Yeah.
No
Real
doubt.
stuff.
Yeah, so you know, some people just add to you and you don't even realize how much they add to you.
Yeah.
Ren,
It's
PC
on
low.
you to know how to take it off and don't pass it on to people. Some people dump that shit on somebody else. Like, yo, if you're not responsible enough to know how to contain what you allow people to dump on you,
Right.
be responsible enough to not to dump it on somebody else.
Right.
You know, we'll
Right.
do that, and then we'll get mad because they won't let us dump it on them.
Right.
You know
I
what
think
I'm
we
saying?
tell you
Right.
what's wrong with me.
yes,
No,
no.
you can't
Yeah,
tell
like-
me what's wrong.
Yeah, we gotta take more accountability. You know,
Yeah.
no more babysitters.
Yeah.
We've been
Right.
babysitters too long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait till the day I can go to a club or to a black restaurant and people ain't double parked in the street and all outside the spot. You can't get a
Expect
parking
them to hold
spot.
on.
You know what I mean? I can't wait till the days come like that when we got enough courtesy and decency. It can be a parking spot right there. They're still double parking the street and block the fucking street. And just because it's them, don't nobody supposed to say nothing to them. That entitlement, that's the shit killing
Right,
me about our
right.
people. We ain't even got enough decency. Damn, let me get out the street. I don't want nobody get no accident. Let me pull over here.
Right,
It's
right.
like thinking beyond yourself.
Right.
It starts with just little shit like that.
Something
You know what I mean?
that
Just
small. I'm
small
gonna
shit.
pull over here
It's
so nobody
practice
don't
behavior.
hit me.
Yeah, just thinking for other people instead of thinking for me. Shit, I'm late. I gotta run in here real quick. That's not them people problem. That's your
Yeah,
problem. You
yeah.
late. But we'll put that burden on them. Like, shit, they just gotta wait, or they just gotta go around because you being selfish and you gotta run in here real quick and you don't want to park in the
And
park.
whatever you going there to do ain't even that important.
Ain't even that important.
Ain't
It's
even
like,
that heavy.
then soon as somebody come hit your car, you be the man when they ain't got no insurance, and then they hit your shit, and then you mad at the world. Like, why you ain't just fucking park?
You should have bought from the jump. There's
Yeah,
a gap
bro.
right there. All you had to do was pull in it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I appreciate y'all watching. We ready to close down, shut down shops. Catch y'all next week. We're gonna have a surprise guest next week.
Indeed.
Look forward to a good show, man. Talking about the kids, talking about our programs the guy got going on for the kids. My man Booby. So he gonna be on. I put out the flyers so y'all can know what's going on and what the title gonna be about. But it's gonna be just about positive energy moving forward.
No doubt, man. And by all means, protect your children, protect your mind, protect your heart. And remember this, that when we build, everything is done out of love. So if we say anything to offend anybody, it's not because of hate. It's because we trying to just shake you a little bit and wake you up out of that sleep. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is. You know what I mean? We always here for the people. You know what I'm saying? To our day ones, peace. We love y'all. Thanks for all the support. And to those that's just meeting us, that's just getting acquainted with us, we definitely appreciate your support and for tuning in every week. Thank y'all, and y'all be safe.
Indeed. Peace.
Peace.